Welcome to Ancient Egypt. As you are traveling with the Muppeteers, please take some notes to help you remember how the geography impacted the ancient civilization that we study today. Remind yourself that ancient Egypt was a gift of the Nile. If there was no Nile, there would be no way for people to live in this region of the world. So sit back, relax, as we travel through ancient Egypt. Our journey around Egypt begins with the tributaries of the Nile River. To the east, we have the Blue Nile, and to the west is the White Nile. You can remember that because W for west and W for white. Clever, right? The two rivers join together to become the longest river in the world. Remember that this river flows from south to north into the Mediterranean Sea. That seems very interesting. I wonder where that is. Do a little reconnaissance and see if you can't figure out why the Nile travels from the south to the north. Think about what you know about water. If we break down the word Mediterranean, it means the Middle Earth. Meta, meaning middle, and terra, meaning earth. All of the water from the Nile River flows into the sea. However, as the river gets closer, it turns into the Nile Delta. This delta looked to the ancient Egyptians much like the lotus flower. We wonder how the Egyptians knew this when they couldn't look at the delta from above. As well, we have Giza, the home to many of the pyramids located at the very beginning of the Nile Delta. We can also see how much desert is around this ancient land. Most of the land surrounding the Nile River is covered by desert. To the west, we have the Sahara Desert, right here, covering much of the northern continent of Africa. We also have the Arabian Desert to the east. See it over there? Sandwiched between the Nile River and the Red Sea, we have the Eastern Desert. Notice that the deserts do not go right up to any bodies of water. Why is that? Well, there is some fertile soil surrounding those bodies of water. What do we call fertile soil again? I'm not going to tell you yet. The fertile soil on either side of the Nile River is only a mile or two wide. Can you believe it? It's true. This soil is where the Egyptians were able to grow their crops and grow as a civilization. What are the F words? Remember? Write them down. Okay, let's check. Floods. To leave silt, or otherwise known as fertile soil, along the banks of the Nile River. This soil allows for good farming, or the way to grow healthy crops. Food surplus, or the ability to grow more food than you need, also allows families to grow larger. As families grow larger, you then have people who can do other things besides farm, which then creates a civilization or culture. That's not an F word, but it's still part of it. We started all over. There are some other cities which are located along the Nile that were important to geography. Khartoum, right here, is where the Blue and White Niles come together. It is also the beginning of the Cataract region. Well, what in the world is a cataract? Well, cataracts are milky or large waterfalls, which made traveling along that part of the Nile quite challenging. If you continue to follow the river north or downstream, I know what? You will see the city of Aswan. Just south of Aswan, you can see that the river looks like it has a large lake. That is a modern element to the Nile River. A dam was built here to control the floodwaters in the late 1800s and was updated in the 1960s. You can see a picture of what the high dam looks like. Remember that since the Nile River flows from the south to the north, the regions surrounding the Nile seem backwards to us as we look at Egypt from above in the sky. However, if you start at the beginning of the Nile in the south, you have Upper Nubia. Then, as you travel north or downstream, you move into the Cataract region, which is also Lower Nubia. Near Aswan, you have Upper Egypt, and finally, as you arrive near Giza, you arrive at Lower Egypt. If you can imagine yourself traveling down the Nile, this makes sense. Thank you for traveling around Egypt with the Map Muppeteers today. We hope that you have been able to think about how the geography of ancient Egypt shaped its culture.